Hey there, everybody. Phil here for AndroidCentral.com with Andrew Vaca. We're here in CTIA in San Diego, and we've got the LG Optimus G on Sprint and on AT&T.
So we've got Sprint here, AT&T here, as you can see.
Now, these are supposed to be like the same phone, right? Basically, one device on all four networks and probably some regionals too. But as we've kind of discovered with our friends and colleagues, Miriam and Engadget and Dieter Bone of the Verge, we're all playing with these phones tonight. And they're actually different, not just in physicality, but in the software as well, right? Hardware is a little different.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of brings us back to like 2011 when the Galaxy S2 came out, and it was different on all carriers. There are subtle differences, something that you might not notice right off the bat, but...
Here's the big one for me. So AT&T got its logo on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sprint has no Sprint logo, and we mentioned that in our first hands-on. There's no Sprint logo anywhere, but you do have Sprint ID in the software, but AT&T got its logo on the back.
Right. So, and I mean, even what would you call this? The pattern back here is a little different.
The crystal reflective process or design.
Yeah.
And the pattern's a little different. So still, it's a flat back when you touch it. There's no texture here.
Yeah.
But it looks a little different. I'm not quite sure you're going to be able to see it.
This one is a little darker here.
Right.
A little blacker, I'd say.
This one's more of a diamond shape, little checkerboard. This one is square, almost like the original... one of those original Nexus live wallpapers, like on the Nexus One, a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's still really cool. I really like the design process, and we've seen it like on the leaked LG Nexus device that supposedly is coming out. So we'll see.
And both of the designs are in the same vein.
Right.
They aren't drastically different, but they are. If you have both of them together, you will definitely notice the difference.
Another big thing is the camera. So different megapixels on each camera, right? This one's 13 megapixels, and we knew that from the start. 13 megapixel has a little lip on it. It's about 1 millimeter. 8 megapixel is flush, and it's completely flush there. That's my finger going over the camera, and then the flash has just a tiny little lip on the flash. I don't even know why it's there.
A little border there, I'd say. Yeah.
So that's almost it for design. The AT&T one's just a tad bigger.
Yeah, I would say
a little taller, a little wider.
I'd say the AT&T's a little thicker, just minimally thicker. And I think the main difference here that you're going to notice is the corners here. So if you see the Sprint here, we've got rounded corners, while the AT&T has more of a sharper, I wouldn't say pointed corner, but definitely sharper than
more
this.
Squares, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little more, so whereas the AT&T back kind of falls over into to the side bezel, the Sprint one stops here and there's a little lip.
I don't know if anybody will agree with me, but I use the Intuition, also known as the VU.
The View.
Yeah, for a couple weeks, and when I first picked up the AT&T Optimus G, it reminded me of that. The same kind of sharp corners here, the same kind of feel around the bezel here.
Right.
And the Sprint is noticeably different, for sure.
I mean, the basic design is still the same. I mean, speakers in the same spot. We've seen that in other LG phones lately, so they're carrying that over. Headphone jacks still in the same place. Power button still in the same place. So they are a little different in design, as you can see. Or let me flip it over. There we go. So the power button on the Sprint version is chrome, whereas on AT&T here it's just flat black. And that follows over into the volume rocker as well. So, I mean, those are minimal design things, but they do show up.
And, of course, on the AT&T one, you've got the door here that opens to the SIM card and the micro SD card.
Whereas Sprint is still internal.
Yeah, exactly.
Does Sprint have the SD card? Or no? No.
I don't see it there, no.
No SD card on Sprint. No, and that's in the specs. We knew that.
Right.
A couple of other things. So, getting into software, and this is kind of where it's really interesting. So one is, by default, come on, Sprint home screen. By default, they have different styles set up for the, it's not liking my finger. So by default, let's see if Andrew can get it to work here. There we go. So by default, they have different animations set up for the home screens. Those are actually customizable in the settings. So if you go to display, where's display? There's display. Or home screen. I keep wanting to do display. Home screen, and then you have screen swipe effect. So you have a bunch of different ones to choose from. and you can customize those however you want. So they're different here, but you have both options. So in the normal settings menu, you would expect them to look the same on both devices, but they've been skinned differently and very differently. And in fact, I think I like them better. It's the Sprint version here. And
Sprint is more traditional, what we've seen on every Android device so far. The AT&T version, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I haven't seen this yet, broken into different categories that you can swipe left to right here.
Right, and we can't do that on Sprint.
That is different than I've seen so far, and I kind of like it, actually, but it is for sure different and unique.
Another big difference is obviously going to be Sprint has toned down how it's doing on-device apps, preloaded apps. Actually, the other thing you see is the dock here is in different order. So we have Sprint ID. The app drawer is the app drawer. But Sprint has far fewer preloaded devices than AT&T does at this point because Sprint tucks them all into the Sprint Zone app.
Yeah, you've got the general AT&T host of crazy preloaded apps here that we've all come to know and love from AT&T, but you're right, the Sprint is a lot more cleaner and a lot more concise in their preloaded apps.
There are still a bunch of LG apps on here, and see Qualcomm has one here as well.
Yeah, of course.
So there's still a lot to mess with. Chrome's preloaded, by the way.
Right.
Which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But, with all these differences, don't get us wrong, they're basically the same internals.
Right.
We're dealing with the same kind of specs here.
Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro, 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is a lot.
And, of course, LTE.
And everything runs really, really smooth. Well, LTE, you've got to have Sprint LTE.
Yeah, of course, if you're lucky enough to be in the market right now. But performance-wise, you're going to find the same experience here. Right. Minor tweaks, minor differences, minor physical differences, but it is the same, or at least in it's supposed to be the same experience across the board.
They're both running Ice Cream Sandwich right now. They will get upgraded to Jelly Bean. Nobody has said anything yet, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. So, all right, there you go. A very quick look at the phones side by side. We're going to split them up soon and do proper reviews. But hardware, not quite the same. They've been definitely tweaked. Oh, here's another little weird hardware tweak. So the top bezel, AT&T has some texture to it, whereas Sprint is flat.
And it's not even like that texture carried over to the back.
Right, no, it's not the crystal reflective process. You can feel this is tactile.
Yeah, definitely. So that is definitely a difference there.
Two really good phones, though, I think. I've spent more time with them than you. Your initial, 30-second review, what is it?
Yeah, they are in the same vein, the same exact phone, but there are enough differences to warrant a noticeable, you're going to look at these and notice right off the bat that they are a different version. And like I said, think back to the Samsung Galaxy S1 and the Galaxy S2. They aren't uniform. This isn't the Galaxy S3 that it's the same exact device across all carriers. Right. They are noticeable differences. So.
Cool. All right, guys, there you go. A very quick late night 10 minutes with the LG Optimus G. On Sprint and AT&T, and we've got more coming. We'll have the European version, the world version in our hands very quickly, and we'll probably see some more coming down the pike as well. So that's it. Andrew, say goodnight.
Good night from San Diego.
Later, everybody.
Jerry here from Android Central. If your wife won't let you run around naked, grab a kick-ass t-shirt from shopandroid.com.